Alright, hi guys, how are we doing? I'm going to start doing some Premier League predictions. I've missed the first 2 game weeks, but we're going to do game week 3 predictions this weekend. I'm joined by Isaac, my uni rugby teammate. Isaac, you are, what team do you support?
Arsenal.
He's a gooner. He's a big gooner. And yeah, basically we're just going to do all the predictions. I'm going to have, every week I'm going to have a guest. And we're going to basically just score against each other. And at the end of the season, see who does better, LathOnTour or the guests. 1 point for correct result prediction and 3 points for the exact score prediction correct as well. Alright, so let's get into it. First game is Brighton Hove Albion and Man United. Obviously United had a bit of a shock last week against Palace. They were literally awful. I wrote in my article that they were a bank on bet to win, so apologies for that if anyone did that. And Brighton got a really strong win against Newcastle away from home. Do I think they're going to do it again? No, I've got United just sneaking it this week. I can't see Bruno, Pogba, Rashford and Martial playing as bad as they did last week. And I might see Van der Beek starting as well this week. So I'm going 2-1 United. Isaac, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say 2-1 as well. 2-1 to United.
Who's scoring? Give me one goal scorer.
Pogba.
Pogba, like it. Get him in the fancy team. Alright, second game we've got Palace Everton. This is quite a good one because both teams are 2 from 2. Palace obviously last week got a really good win against United 3-1. And Everton scored 5 last week against West Brom and they're flying high. New signings, Rodriguez, Allen looked really strong. And Calvert-Lewin obviously got his hat-trick last week. So yeah, this is going to be a really interesting game. I think Palace game suits more last week's sort of scenario where they go 1 up and sit back and then hit on the counter. I think Everton is going to have too much for them. And I'm going 2-0. Isaac, what are you thinking?
2-0 to...
I'm going 2-0 Everton.
I reckon 2-2. I think got Calvert-Lewin on my fancy team, so fingers crossed he scores.
Yeah, like
but
it.
Obviously Zaha, if he's injured, I don't know.
No, he's playing, yeah.
He's doing sick at the moment.
Alright, yeah, rate it. 2-2, like it. Right, third game on Saturday, 5:30. We've got West Brom, Chelsea. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. West Brom have been awful. I cannot see them staying up this year. I feel bad. I like Slaven Bilic, but they just don't have enough. They don't have an out-and-out number 9. Obviously, they've got Austin on the bench. They play Callum Robinson, and their defence just leaks too many goals. Chelsea haven't scored hat-trick during the week, and I think Lampard is just going to slowly get that team to gel, and this week it's going to click. And I've got them 3-1 to Chelsea. Isaac, what are you thinking?
4-0 Chelsea.
4-0.
Yeah, I think they've got it. They're doing well at the moment.
West Brom is so bad. West Brom is so bad. Fourth game, Burnley Southampton. I know Isaac said he was a gooner, but he's also a local Southampton boy.
Up the Saints.
So that's his second team. Obviously Burnley have had a lot of injury trouble. Only played their first game last week. And Saints got hammered, didn't they, against Spurs. So it's a bit of an interesting one for both of them. A tough, close game. Normally, these are the sort of games where the Turf Moor crowd kind of helps Burnley and it's their fortress and they do really well at home. They pick up a lot of their points there. But I'm going for a 1-1 draw. There hasn't been a draw yet in the first 2 weeks of the Premier League, so I think this is going to be the game that changes. So I've got 1-1.
Well, got to stick with the locals. I'm going 2-1 Southampton. I reckon Danny Ings. I reckon he's going to get a goal.
He's got fire soon, doesn't he?
He's doing well at the moment.
Yeah, he's got fire. All right, Sunday starts. We've got the derby up north. We've got Sheffield United against Leeds. As you guys will know, I'm not the biggest fan of Leeds United ever since that moment when... but I'll just say that moment. You guys will know what moment I'm talking about against us. But they started well, to be fair to them. 7 goals in 2 games. Can't really complain about that. They look strong going forward. Obviously, they've got a few defensive things they need to tighten up on, but I'm sure they will. And Sheffield United have just struggled a little bit. Obviously, I think last week against us, they were a bit unlucky with their red card. And defensively, they look really strong. But goals is going to be their issue again. Mousset out, so they're looking at McBurney and Ollie Burke for their goals. And obviously McGoldrick. But I think this week's going to click. I've got John Fleck to score. I'm going to go 2-2. A big draw. Chris Wilder will want to get one over Bielsa. But I think they're going to share the spoils and it's going to be a point each.
I'm going for 2-1 2-1 to Leeds. I think that ordinarily, if there was a crowd there, Sheffield would have probably done a bit better than that.
Yeah.
But obviously, with no home crowd to back them up, I think that Leeds are just on fire at the moment. So yeah, 2-1 to Leeds.
The thing is, I think my Leeds might win, but I hate them too much. I can't do it. I can't say that Leeds are going to win. Spurs Newcastle is the next one. Obviously, last week it just clicked, didn't it? They scored 5 away at Southampton. I know a few lads that dropped Son, and he scored 4 and got an assist. So that was a bit of a chiner to those lot. I think they're looking good. Obviously, they've struggled a bit in the Europa League. I know they've got through both their rounds, but a few late winners. Obviously, this week in Macedonia, they got a couple of late winners to settle it. But I think they'll be fine. Obviously, Newcastle last week had a tough one against Brighton. Mourinho masterclass of just getting a goal and looking after it. And then Newcastle hunt at the end and Tottenham get second. So I'm going 2-0 Tottenham.
But I think they'll get 2-1.
2-1.
2-1 to Tottenham. But I want Newcastle to win that one.
Alright, I like it. 2-1. Alright, next is City against Leicester. Going to keep this short and sweet. Leicester started well. Believe they're 2 from 2. Yeah, they're 2 from 2. And City played 1. Obviously, they had that period in the second half against Wolves where they were looking a bit shaky defensively, but they got too much class. De Bruyne was the best player in the league. And yeah, Man City 3, Leicester City 1.
That's a pretty good shout. I reckon 2-0 to City.
2-0.
Obviously, I've got De Bruyne on my fantasy team, so I'm hoping it is a cracking game.
It's your team?
Yeah.
Oh, you got Tyrone Mings,
I have, yeah. But I think that, obviously my fantasy league didn't do so well last week. It should have done, but didn't. So I'm hoping that De Bruyne has an absolutely massive game to get me a few more points. But 2-0 City.
Like it. Right, West Ham Wolves is the last one on Sunday at 7 o'clock. Obviously, everyone knows about West Ham's struggles so far. This week, they had a bit of a shock in the EFL Cup where Moyes and 2 of their players got tested positive for coronavirus, so they had to sit out. It's tough for them. They're going to really struggle this year. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll have enough to stay up. Antonio up top will get their goals, but I think it's going to be a tough one this weekend. Wolves look really good, actually. At the start, they struggled against City, but Jimenez had a few good chances.
But I think Wolves have got it, and hopefully they get a 0 win. Because I've got Sice and Cody in my fantasy team.
Like it.
So I'm got back with my fantasy team, 2-0 Wolves.
2-0 Wolves, like it. Right, the big one, 5:45 on Monday, Fulham Villa. As you all know, I'm a huge Villa fan. I'm extremely confident fan. I have been going into this year. A lot of people got me nibbling on Twitter, basically saying that we were getting relegated and that we were going to have a worse season this year, but that was definitely getting me frustrated. But I'm really confident this year. Some big signings. We're 3 from 3 with 2 cup wins, and obviously the win last week against Sheffield United. And the debuts have worked perfectly. Martinez, clean sheet and penalty save. Matty Cash looked really strong last week. Ollie Watkins, he was a bit quiet in the game against Sheffield United, but that was just the way it happened because obviously the red card and they sat back. But he obviously got his goal against Burton Albion in the Cup and this week in the third round against Bristol City. And Bertrand Traore, what a start he had. What an absolute banger that was the other night. So yeah, I'm really confident. I think we'll be absolutely fine this year. I've got us finishing about 13th, 14th. And you know what, in 3 or 4 years' time we'll be in Europe, just you wait. But I'm going to say 2-1 Villa, just because I need more time to see defensively that we're 100% confident. Martinez looks really comfortable playing the ball around the back, which is good, but also makes me freak out when I'm watching at home. So I just still think we might have a mishap or an error at the back in us. So I'm going to say Fulham 1, Villa 2. We're going to be 2 from 2. Come on, the boys.
I reckon Villa done quite well actually, and obviously
damn straight boy.
as a gunner, Martinez, quality keeper.
What a signing!
What a good keeper. absolutely gutted to let him go, but obviously we've got that Icelandic man now, whoever that is. Yeah, I think that they've done really, really well, but I think this week they may just slip up. Hope they don't. Obviously, I quite like Villa now, obviously because of you and Martinez. But I do think that Fulham, well, Villa will just get shocked by Fulham. So they're either going to go down and come back, or I reckon it's going to be 2-1 Fulham. But obviously, I've got Martinez and Mings and Davies, whoever that is.
Keenan.
But they're all in my fantasy team as well, so I'm hoping for the sake of my fantasy team and Martinez and just
not being in a mood for 3 days.
Yeah, I do want Villa to win, but I do think Fulham have got it 2-1.
So you're going 2-1 Fulham?
Yeah.
That's the last time he features on this chat. on this call. Final game is the 8 PM Liverpool-Arsenal on Monday night. Obviously, this is what everyone wants to watch. It's obviously a big historic fixture that these two sides have been massive in English and European football for many years. Liverpool, obviously everyone knows they're the team to beat. I've got City winning the league this year, but I think obviously everyone just wants to beat Liverpool, don't they? Being the reigning champs. Arsenal, I'm all for Arsenal this year and just long-term future. I think Arteta's the man going forward, obviously keeping Oba. Willian looks like a class threat, and just having Lacazette and Nketiah to play whenever they want, 60 minutes, one comes on, one comes off. And obviously people like Gabriel, I really, really like the look of Arsenal this year. But I think Liverpool are just going to have enough. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw, if it's a score draw, like a 1-1 or a 2-2. But I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Arsenal 1 to finish my predictions. Isaac?
That's the last time I'm featuring on your channel.
What are you saying?
Got to stick with the boys.
How are you doing this week?
I think they're going to do well. They've, for some reason, Arteta picked them up. They're an absolute mess. Realistically, he's brought 1 or 2 players in. Obviously, re-signed Aubameyang. So good. Over the moon with that. I think that he's definitely, him and obviously Leno are the future of Arsenal going forward. Well, Arsenal doing well, that is. But no, club captain, got to stick with Aubameyang. I think that our attacking options are just absolutely on point this season, and they're all on form. But yeah, I've got to stick with the boys. I'm going 2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal, like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for this video. We're going to do this every week. Going to get a new guest on every week and keep you up to date with the leaderboard of who's doing well and who's not. And also, I'll put in the link the website that I'm currently writing for, doing loads of my sports articles. It's called Blue Collar Media. They also have a YouTube channel that I'll put in the link, and they're a great bunch of guys. They've got a load of sports insight and knowledge, and I also have an article on who I think you should bet on this week and who you should stay away from. But anyway, cheers Isaac, cheers brother.
Cheers.
And yeah, that's it. See you in a bit, guys.